Good afternoon. Let me welcome you on behalf of Holland Hospital to our annual Employee Service Awards. I'm Dale Souders and I'm the president of the hospital. You know, in these last 30 years, you've obviously seen a lot of changes. Our numbers have grown. Our facility has changed multiple times, and the complexity of the care that we render has continued to evolve, and the success fundamentally comes from the continuity and the consistency that you have provided. We have multiple departments, and there are a number of pieces of this puzzle that need to fit together and work effectively. It's a privilege to serve alongside employees that have devoted so much of their time and really so much of their lives to Holland Hospital. Let me thank you for your excellent work and for becoming our face and for becoming that consistent quality care that we are so proud and that I am so proud to talk about in this community. Collectively, this day represents our gratitude for your commitment and your contribution. Thank you very much.
I've had kind of two career paths. The first one was actually the trombone, and at that time I thought I was going to do that for a living. But there were some issues and problems of that lifestyle. So then I went on and decided to go into psychology. I'm an outpatient psychologist now, and what I do is I work as a clinician out on the outpatient unit. You have to be flexible in today's environment because hospital environment is going to keep changing, and it's going to involve a variety of different things that you're not really always prepared to do. I think the hospital philosophy has always been to provide good professional care and to make sure that we are respectful and caring for the community that we are in at this point. And we are also committed to try to help people understand mental health issues and to break stereotypes down and to make as much as possible that we're accessible, that we can be approached, that we can open up the doors so people can receive the psychiatric care that they need. What I enjoy about the psychology aspect of my job is when I know I've made an impact in someone's life. When you feel like you know that you made a difference in their lives and also in their families' lives, and that they're much better because of it, that's what you can hold on to. And that's like your like in music, it'd be like a standing ovations in your own heart.
I'm a little country girl. I grew up in Beaver Dam, north of Zeeland. My mother was the only one who ever graduated from high school before me in our family. When I was 5 years old, my father was one of the first people to have open heart surgery. When I would go to visit, we would see the nurses, and they looked so crisp and fresh in their white uniforms. And they were so kind and caring, and they took care of my dad and got him through a really, really rough time, and that's why I decided I wanted to be a nurse. When I started, we all wore our white caps and our white uniforms, our white hose, our white shoes, and that over time has changed. It was a little bit hard for me to get rid of that cap. I worked so hard for that cap, and that pin. Thinking about surgery is a very anxious time for patients, and I feel as though it's a big responsibility, but also an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be able to serve people who are in a very vulnerable state. They allow us into their lives when they are in a difficult situation. I feel so very blessed to work with the people that I've worked with. They've been very supportive through good times and bad times, and it's just been a wonderful experience to work with these people. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to my family, and I'm grateful to Holland Hospital for allowing me to live my dream that I've had since I was 5 years old of being a nurse and helping other people.
My father had passed away from cancer, and we had kept him at home. Hospice workers came into the house, and I just seen what they could provide as far as family support. He was just so proud to have us there helping him, and I just knew I wanted to be able to help other people. The word was, when I was back in nursing school, was Holland Hospital is a good place to work, and they have a job opening. You should go see if you can get a job there. So my husband told me I would never work night shift, and that was a job that was open. So, and it worked for us. It worked very well because I was there at home during the day, tired or not. I always was home for the children. As far as a nurse on the night shift, you have more one-on-one care, I feel, than what you do in some ways during the day shift. During the night, it just seemed like I could have a little more of the conversations with patients who were awake during the night, and sometimes they would really reach out. I guess I enjoy working with my coworkers too. I mean, that is a big part of work, but the patient care, I do enjoy the patient care, the contact with the people, and sometimes, you know, it just takes a minute or two to really let people know that you care, and, you know, that kind of eases their mind. Well, the Judith Newman Award, I was chosen out of the many. I mean, I do feel very honored that people appreciate the work that I do, and nice to be recognized. And, you know, we have a lot of special nurses at this hospital.
Why nursing? It's the only thing I wanted to do. My grandma, she broke her hip. I was a little girl then, and that extended into a situation where she actually lost her lower leg. From that experience, I was just like helping her, getting her better, helping her walk, changing her dressings at times. And so that's the only thing I've ever wanted to be. Oh, yeah, I miss my cap. It was a funky cap. It looked more like a dunce cap, but it was still a nursing cap. The more traditional nurse uniform. I do have a fondness for that. I haven't gotten rid of them yet. Just too much memories there. Can't do it. During the night, it's a fabulous teamwork that we have. It's the community of working together with other departments and everybody working together to just have the best patient experience possible. You have more time to be with the patients, and they have more time to be with you. At times during the night, they're able to tell you things that they probably couldn't tell people during the day, or maybe you can help them just express their feelings and emotions a little bit more. Happy moments are when the test results come back negative and everybody's joyful. Sad moments are when the results don't come back negative and everybody works through those emotions. Take it one day at a time. Be ready to do every day what you need to do, and the years will take care of themselves. And it's just amazing that I have been here this long, and it's almost an impossible thing to imagine when I first started.
Truly, my dad made me. I was a rebellious teenager and didn't really know where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do with my life. And he saw a caregiver in my soul, and he said, I think you need to take that nursing entrance exam. I said, only if you make me. By golly, he made me. He stood in front of that door while I wrote the nursing exam, and I became a nurse. To this day, every Father's Day, I send him a thank you card because it was the best thing he's ever done for me. Caregiving is who I am. It's my passion, it's my soul. I came to Holland Hospital in the mid-70s, 76, 77, and started working at Holland Hospital in the coronary care intensive care unit. I made the jump back into surgical services leadership, and that's where I've been the last 20 years, leading our pre-admission testing center in our pre-post-op area, then moving on to the intra-op and CS area, and I'm happy to say a little over a year ago I was given the promotion to be the director of surgical services, and that's my current role. Leadership is not only within the walls of Holland Hospital, it's taking those leadership experiences outside of Holland Hospital. So I've been lucky enough to be asked to do some public speaking related to leadership in nursing. I was asked to speak several times on surgical safety, many different aspects of surgical safety. It is absolutely one of my core values, and as a leader, I try to instill that same passion that I have with all of our team, that nothing is more important than our job is keeping our patients safe. It's everything from making sure that we've spelled the name right, we have the right birthday, we're doing the right side, we're giving the right medication at the right time. We always want to protect our patients and keep them safe.
I've always worked, and I like to work. It's what I do. Once I was driving actually going south out of town, and I turned into the parking lot, and it was a Saturday. And I'm going, oh, I don't have to be here. It's the wrong day to come to work. There was a posting for a nurse to go work in Somalia at the camps. A civil war had broken out, and they needed a volunteer to go with World Concern. Holland Hospital gave me a leave, which was very unusual. So I was gone for almost 6 months, and I was working essentially as a nurse practitioner in the refugee camps, feeding people, clinics. I started up a couple clinics. I was in Kismayo, Jilib, and with a leper colony up there, and in Mogadishu. Patient stories are the most important thing, because you get to know them, who they are as people. 4 West used to be an inpatient oncology chemotherapy unit. That was wonderful. Most of us who worked with those patients really missed that because you had to sit there and talk, so you got to know them very well. And it was serial, so these people came back in every month, every 4 to 6 weeks. So you got to know them and their families very much. I mean, it was like having friends come back. We had a patient once when I was a staff nurse. He was like 104, 106, and sitting and talking with them when you have the time. He knew Pancho Villa when he was a little boy. I mean, oh my gosh. We're busy. We're busy, 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 busy. What I feel good at the end of the day is when staff have what they need and, you know, to do their job, and that we've got everybody taken care of. Everybody's safe, and they're getting the care that they expected and deserve. So that's what I feel good at the end of the day.
When I was a little girl, I played office downstairs. I had papers all over the ping pong tables, and I would be the office manager, the office worker. I really feel that I'm doing exactly as a child what I did. That's what I'm doing now. Well, we're kind of the start of a patient coming in for surgery. We get the date and the time that works out for the doctor, and then we schedule the surgery. From there, it goes to pre-admission testing. We call the patient, set up an appointment for them to come in for pre-testing. We have to be very careful with all the picky details. They are picky, but they need to be right. The friendships that were formed with my co-workers, we have gone to New York to see plays. We've run 5Ks together. It's not only here at the hospital, but it's in the outside world too. When I first started as a surgery scheduler, I was really concerned because I would see diagnoses, procedures that were really heartbreaking. And so there was a older gal that when I started, she was in the office, and I said, how do you deal with that? And she said, you know, I say a little prayer before I leave work in the morning for all the patients that I'm going to schedule. And that has stuck with me. At the end of my day, I hope that I have done things right for our patients. And I'm so glad that 40 years ago, I started, and I'm still enjoying what I'm doing today.
What I do is just a little piece of what happens for the patient.
We have the surgeons, we have the nurses, we have dietitians, we have care management.
Cardiopulmonary, helping for respiratory treatment.
We have OT, PT.
There's the people in the operating room, the people in the recovery room.
We all kind of fit together.
Everybody works together to get that patient is in the right place as possible.
We are a piece of that big puzzle.
I'm just one little piece of the whole puzzle.
It's that continuum of care. You bring it together to have a successful outcome.